morning. Okay. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Wednesday morning. Like always, I encourage you to take everything at your own pace, to really focus in on what's going on within your body, both within that emotional state and within our physical state. So if something doesn't feel right for you, or if anything's confusing, look up at me, or try something different, because we have to practice the way we need to for each time we come to the mat. So I want to encourage you to explore what needs to be explored and to let go of the rest. So let's get into a comfortable position, either lying down on your back, or you might choose to be seated, whatever feels right for you. And let your eyes close. Notice what it is to be you right here and now. To honor any of the stress, the steps it took for you to get to the mat today. Notice the energy levels that you have for this moment. Notice the temperature against your skin. Soften your jaw. Let the tongue unclench itself from the roof of your mouth, and let all the muscles in the face become slack and heavy. Give yourself permission to soften just 10% more in this moment. Let the shoulders become soft. Notice the palms of the hands, and see if there's any residual tension you're holding on to throughout the arms or legs. And let relaxation be that wave of softening. Inviting the breath to come in and to just even out any of the sharp edges that you might feel. Noticing any sounds. Letting your mind just float from sound to sound. Or maybe this is an opportunity to get lost in the space between the sounds. Just noticing how we can allow for our awareness to move around without giving any names to the sounds. Just let that awareness bounce and move the way it wants to. Notice how far that awareness of sound can go. Maybe it blossoms open. How far away can we hear something? And then gently take your awareness and bring it right back home to you. So either hearing or feeling your own heartbeat. Letting that balloon of awareness just circle in around you. What's the rhythm of your heart right now? Notice this pinpoint attention and awareness. Notice how when we focus on something so simple, all the other noise from life starts to fade into the background. So when the chaos of the world starts to become really loud, both within our mind and our body, invite yourself to come to the simplicity of listening to your own heart beating, to notice the sweetness of this moment, the simplicity of here and now. Invite the breath to start to grow. So as you inhale, let the belly, the ribs, the chest, everything grows and expands. And as you exhale, just follow that breath out through the nose. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, let it all grow. And following it out at your own rhythm, at your own pattern. Notice how much more you can take in and how much more you're willing to let go of. Just give yourself a few more rounds of breath. Checking back in with the jaw, the shoulders. Where has tension started to weave its fingers into? Give yourself one more deep breath in. And let it go. And we'll gently take our time and make our way onto our backs. So as we come onto our backs, or we stay there already on our back, I want you to encourage the knees to come in towards the chest. Even noticing how we move our body. You can circle out the ankles. Find any kind of motion for the body that feels right for you. Letting knees drop from side to side. Just letting there be this sense of release and of surrender. Even noticing what we hold on to. So we might even have these labels for ourselves. And those labels can come and go. And sometimes we take them and hold on to them like a badge of honor. When think about it, 10, 15, 20 years ago, we were someone so completely different. Why do we still wear that same badge? Hug the knees in towards the chest one more time, give them a squeeze, and then keep that right knee into the chest and let the left leg extend down the mat. Interlace your hands on top of the right shin and let the leg rock from side to side a few times. Just offering a little bit of lubrication into that right hip, the right hip flexor. Of course, I always give you the opportunity, once you find that position, we continue to roll and to move and to circle to see where our body is. I'll say this from now until forever. Habit will take you to one place, and we've already been there. Our body usually uses that as a foundation. I encourage you to explore around the other areas to see maybe what might feel better. Again, that label might tell us to go somewhere else, and I encourage you to have more of a curiosity, more of an exploration sense. Now kick the right leg up to the sky and interlace your hands behind the back of the leg. You can bend and straighten it a bunch of times just to get a little bit more opening within that right hamstring. calf. You don't have to hard flex the foot. You can choose to bend and straighten it as many times as it feels comfortable for you. Now, one of the limbs of yoga is ahimsa, which is practicing nonviolence. And that could be the thoughts that we have. That could also be trying to bully ourselves into these strong stretches that maybe we're not really ready for at the moment. So see if you can be kinder to yourself. More things open up in that path of kindness. Now, slowly take and bend the left knee. Left foot is coming to the mat. Right ankle goes on the left thigh. Figure 4 stretch. Opportunity to press that right knee open. Even rocking the knees side to side while pressing that knee open can feel pretty good. Maybe even give you a little release of the lower back. And either staying here or keeping the cross, hugging the legs in towards the chest. And again, if you want to rock the body from side to side, that might feel quite lovely. Take a deep breath in and out through the nose. Soften the jaw, soften the shoulders. Soften places that maybe don't need to be doing so much work. Slowly releasing the left foot down to the mat, uncross the right, and extend that right leg down the mat. Hug the left knee into the chest. Interlace your hands on top of the shin, and see if you can do it the other way with the fingers. You know what I'm saying, the weird way. Rocking it from side to side. Where do you meet resistance? Again, relaxing shoulders and jaw. That's usually my go-to for tension. Maybe you wear yours differently. And it's okay if that right leg isn't fully extended. You can have a gentle bend of it. That might feel better for the back. We're going to slowly kick that left leg up to the sky, interlacing your hands behind the back of the leg, bending and straightening the left leg as many times as it feels comfortable for you. Again, coming back into that place, practicing nonviolence on your body. One thing that I've been kind of stewing over is the fact that being vulnerable to ourselves is a gift. Being vulnerable to others is a gift. It's not a weakness. It's a beautiful thing to be able to express your feelings. Slowly bending the right knee, bringing sole of the foot down to the mat, left ankle on the right thigh. Figure 4 stretch, using left hand to press that left hip away if that feels good for you. Knees can rock side to side in this position. I mean, you think about it, my 2.5-year-old, when she starts to feel these strong emotions, she gets upset and frustrated. So maybe when you see other people getting upset and frustrated, even if they're adults, maybe they haven't received those tools and how to express themselves. It's frustrating. You can hug those legs into the chest if that feels good for you, keeping that cross. Give yourself one more breath. And out. Dropping right foot down, uncrossing the left. Hands go behind the backs of the knees. We're going to rock forwards and backwards a bunch of times. And if that doesn't feel good for you, then you can come up any way that does feel right for you. Once we come up, just coming into a seated position, bring your hands to your heart space and gently bowing your chin. Notice the flow of air, the sweetness of your own heart beating. Maybe it's changed within the past few minutes. And that's life. We're able to change and to grow, to breathe and to be. May we always stay rooted into this present moment, to never forget the past, but to not let it hold us back. May we find anticipation for the future and joy within this moment, gratitude. If there's anything else you would like to add into the practice for a little intention, feel free. Let that be what moves you today. All right, here we go. So you have two options right here. You can roll back. We're going to come into a low squat, so follow along with me. You can either roll back, cross those ankles, press forward, and unhook the feet, or you can just come forward and move the feet. Make it as simple as possible. I want you to come into a low squat right here. Even just testing the waters, bending and straightening the legs a few times, letting the hips sink down. Heels can lift, heels can stay grounded, feet can open wider if that feels okay for you. If you settle down into malasana, into that low squat, I want to encourage you to flatten the back. And we're just going to stay here for a second. Notice our hips. Notice what it feels like to be here. Take a deep breath in, relax the neck, the head, the shoulders, circle it out if that feels all right for you. And then slowly letting those hips lift up, toes can face forward. Coming into our folded, or forward fold, that's it. You can come into ragdoll position, grabbing onto opposite elbows. Gaze can look between the knees, or you can bring your elbows to your thighs if that feels just a little bit more supportive for today. And while you're here, whatever position you're in, maybe circling out the ankles, testing into the shoulders. Be the explorer of your own body. The most important relationship we have is with ourselves, and it's the scariest one. It's scary to be able to see weaknesses and to think of them as strengths. But within us, there is no such thing as a weakness. It's just a place that we're working on, just stuff that we're exploring. So try not to hide and turn away from anything that we see or feel. Slowly bring those hands down to the ground. Step your feet back. Come into your plank. As we come into plank, I want you to squeeze the quads. Notice the power. Push down into those wrists. So we're lifting that body up. How much more energy can you add in? Relax the neck, the head, the shoulders. Now release the right knee down to the earth. The heel is going to go over towards the right side, root down into the right hand, and lift the left arm up to the sky. We're coming into this modified plank. You can take and extend that left arm towards the front of your mat, roll the wrists. Option to lift up the left leg, and it's an option. You might try it and be like, no, not for me today, and that's beautiful. Slowly releasing the left foot down, and then the knee, and then left hand. We're going to find some cats and cows, lifting tailbone, opening up the heart space. Exhale, rounding the back, push it up to the sky. Inhale, tailbone lifts, chest opens, and exhale to round. And just 2 more times, moving at the pace that feels right for you. And 1 more time. And out. Press your hips back to your heels. Come into child's pose. Now the big toes might touch. Knees can open as wide or as little as it feels comfortable for you. Arms can be reaching towards the front of your mat. They can be full of energy, or they could be a little bit more passive. Now notice your breath right here. Can you feel that connection? The back stretching up towards the sky. Notice how much space there is within the ribs, within the lungs. How so often we just focus on the chest expansion. And what happens is the back has so much movement in it too. Think about how every breath is an opportunity, and are you taking up the most that you can with every breath? On your next breath in, we'll press ourselves up, tabletop position. And then we're going to press those hips back and up, coming into our downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Just test the waters right here. Move the hips, the ribs, the shoulders. Shake out the head, yes and no. As you paddle through the feet and you pedal them down, see if you can get that big stretchiness through the line of the body, the hamstring, the calf, the ankle. Everything starts to open. On your next inhale, roll forward into your plank. Pausing here for a second. Draw the abs in, squeeze those quads. Option to release the knees down to the earth if you choose to, or not. I'm going to, it feels good. On your exhale, lower down to the mat. So those elbows skim to the ribs and the chest comes down before the belly, we hope. Once we're down here, I want you to anchor into the hips, squeeze your glutes. Head and shoulders start to lift up, the gaze stays down. Draw shoulders away from the ears, squeeze your quads. Take one more deep breath in. On your exhale, release down. Inhale, press up, tabletop position. Tuck the toes, plank. Squeeze those quads again. And then slowly release left knee down. Foot can go over towards the left side. Right arm is going to stretch up towards the sky. Right heel drops to the left. Option to lift up the foot. Even circling out the right wrist can feel pretty good here. Notice the expansion and stretch of the body. Deep breath in. And on your exhale, plant the right hand, right knee down to the mat. Press yourself back into your child's pose, letting forehead come down to the ground. Take a deep breath in and let it go. One more deep breath in and let it go. Inhale, press yourself up. Tabletop position, tuck the toes, press back and up, downward facing dog. Move with grace, with flow. Deep breath in and out, maybe lifting that tailbone up higher, encouraging those shoulder blades to get away from the ears. Take 2 more breaths right here. And 1 more breath. Bend those knees, look forward, walk, hop, or step your feet towards the front of your mat. As you come to the front of the mat, shake out the head, yes, no. Finding your forward fold, elbows can come towards the thighs. Ragdoll position, just give yourself a breath here. Now slide your hands to your thighs, bend the knees, round the back, inhale. As you exhale, roll up to standing, arms sweep up to the sky. And exhale, hands come to our heart space. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up to the sky. Exhale, sink into your chair. In this chair, just notice the feet. Just focus on your feet. Balls of the foot, heels, weight is there. Make sure that's even, maybe lift those toes up, see what happens, how it changes, where you feel the weight. Make sure knees aren't going beyond the toes, hips are pressing back, draw your abs in, and a slight tuck of the pelvis. Lower back is nice and neutral. Now, I can't see your mouth because we're all wearing masks, so smile. Smile, be happy, like find this gratitude. And you can frown if you want, but just notice the 2 ends of those spectrum, right? Now, pressing into the feet, inhale, circle the arms up to the side. At the top, squeeze those quads and glutes. Exhale, sink into your chair. Inhale, stand up tall, reach up, and exhale, chair. Now imagine when we do this, we're moving through water. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, chair. 2 more times. Inhale, and exhale, chair. Last time. Squeeze everything up at the top. Exhale, chair. Relax the neck, the head, the shoulders. Circle it out from side to side. Maybe even move those shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, hinge forward. Hands to the shins, come into your halfway lifted position. Flatten the back, shoulders slide away from the ears. On your exhale, release hands down to the ground. Step your feet to the back of your mat. Now you can come straight into child's pose, down dog, or you can take a vinyasa flow with us. Take a deep breath in, knees on ground or not. Exhale, high plank to low plank or all the way down. Inhale, either baby cobra or up dog. And we'll exhale, find ourselves back into our down dog. Through tabletop or not. Pedal the feet, deep breath in and out. 2 more breaths. What is there to learn about your body for today? Our own mental fortitude, our own patience, the kindness that we can have is strength. Compassion is strength. Empathy is strength. Take that right leg, reach it up to the sky. Inhale. As you exhale, we're going to step it towards the front of our mat. If you have blocks, I encourage you to grab those blocks. They are my best friends. And then slowly release the left knee down to the mat. And then we'll come up with our torso, either hands on blocks, or you have your own block right here, which is your knee. It's a beautiful place. If you need extra padding underneath that left knee, you can stack over your mat. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, arms sweep up to the sky. And then use the right hand, grab onto the left wrist, and just tip over to the right side. Relax the shoulders. Take a deep breath in to any of the sharpness that you feel. Inhale, torso comes up. Arms stretch up. Exhale, hands to the mat in front of you. Left hand on the block or straight down. Inhale, right arm reaches up to the sky. Drop left hip down a little bit more. See if that feels different. The same. Take another deep breath in and out. Inhale, release the right hand down. Now follow along with me. This is going to be kind of funky. You're going to take the left foot and go off to the right side of your mat, right? Okay, torso is going to come upright. This would be warrior 2 on our knees. The right foot forward, left foot is open. And then I want you to bring your right hand to your thigh and start to hinge towards the right knee, right foot. And just notice what that feels like. You can shift forwards and backwards a few times, relaxing the right toes. Now open up those arms, forwards, backwards. Right hand flips up, reach it up to the sky, relax shoulders away from ears. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, right elbow comes down to the right knee, left arm sweeps up, bicep gets close to ear. Coming into this modified extended side angle. Inhale, torso comes upright. All right, hands are gonna come down to the left side, and then you're gonna let all toes, or right toes, face that left side as well. Yes, all right. We're gonna work on this external strength of the right hip. So start to lift that right foot up. I personally come onto my right fingertips. Feels easier for me. Torso twists open a little bit. Now tap the right foot down. We're just gonna go 3 times, lift it up. And tap it down, and lift it up. One more time. Lift it up. Now drop the foot down. Good job. Torso comes upright. Gate pose. Arms are forwards, backwards. Drop right hand down onto the right thigh. Left arm sweeps up and over to the right foot. Inhale, torso comes up. Now drop those left fingers down. Right arm is going to stretch towards the back of your mat. Find a big peeling open sensation within the right outer hip. Yes. Now on your inhale, tuck the pelvis. Torso comes upright. Right foot is going to face to the front of your mat. Hands go inside of the right foot. Left foot goes back. Step back into your plank. Did we do it? Yeah, we did. This is totally optional. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, skim those elbows to the ribs. High plank, low plank, or all the way down. Inhale to your upward facing dog or cobra. Dealer's choice. Exhale to your down dog. Sometimes it's fun when you don't know what's to come, right? That anticipation kind of goes away where you're just like, wait, what? And that's being in the moment, just taking in the information and doing it. Take that left leg, reach it up to the sky. Inhale, exhale, step it to the front of your mat. Drop that right knee down. And then slowly coming on up, relax those shoulders. Habit brings them up. Awareness brings them down. Arms stretch up to the sky. So you could stay here or use that left hand, grab onto the wrist, tip over to the left side. Take all your breath and let it cradle those sharp sensations. Let them smooth out. Navigate the body. Be curious. Inhale, torso comes up. Exhale, hands to the ground in front of you. Right hand on block or underneath the right shoulder on the earth. Left hand is going to start to spiral up to the sky. Inhale and exhale. One more deep breath in. And on your exhale, release the hand down. All right, here we go. We are going to drop that right heel over to the left side and maybe even let the left foot come in a little bit. Coming into our warrior two on our knees. Relax the shoulders, maybe circle them around a few times. Gaze can look forwards and backwards. I love this one, especially for tighter hips. This is a beautiful position to get in. Bring your left hand down to your knee and start to shift towards that left foot. It's a different way to get that inner thigh stretch, and you don't need a lot of it to get a big impact within the inner thigh with that external rotation of the hip. Now coming back into our little 90-90 position, arms reach forwards, backwards. Take that left hand, inhale, reach it up to the sky. Gaze can look down towards the back of your mat or up towards that left hand. What do you choose? Which direction do you want to view? Take one more deep breath in. And on your exhale, spiral left elbow down towards the left knee. Right arm stretches to the front of your mat. Yeah. Just focusing in. What type of pressure do you put on yourselves? There's no perfection here. There's just meeting ourselves where we are. Today is different than yesterday. It's different than 5 minutes ago. Inhale, torso comes up. Now hands are going to go to the right side. The toes, left toes are going to go to the right side as well. Now again, I cheat, which means I make it work for my body. I come onto my left fingertips, shifting the weight more over towards that right hand as I lift that left leg up. Holy Toledo, right? It feels sometimes unpleasant to work the places that we don't hit often. We're going to 3 times tap down. So tap it down and lift it up. Like, how often do you lift up your leg like this? Only in yoga. Lift it up one more time, tap it down. And it doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. It means we don't have a lot of experience here. Drop the foot down. Now we're going to come into that gate pose. Torso comes upright. Drop left hand onto the left thigh. Right arm sweeps up and over to the left side. Again, relax the jaw. Soften the muscles in the face. Let that breath fill the lungs. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. On your exhale, right fingertips come down to the mat. The left arm can sweep towards the back of your mat. Tuck the pelvis. Let that breath fill the left outer hip. This is one of my favorite positions. There's a lot of opening that happens here. to come up. Draw your abs in. Inhale, come on up. Now we're gonna face towards the front of our mat. So let that left foot come forward, right foot comes so that we're all facing the front. Tuck the right toes and step back into your plank. Squeeze the quads. Dealer's choice, on knees or not, shift forward, inhale. Exhale, high plank to low plank. Inhale, flip the feet, up dog or that cobra position. Relax those shoulders. Exhale, down dog. Pedal here, take a deep breath of water. Nope, take a deep breath of air or a sip of water. Give yourself just 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Inhale, knees drop down to the earth. Hands under shoulders, tabletop position. Cat and cow, lift the tailbone, open up the chest, relax the neck. Exhale to round. Inhale, open up the chest, lift the tailbone. And exhale to round. Walk your hands, one handprint forward, circle out the hips, the ribs, the shoulders. Finding a little bit of free form play right here. So my intention today is just unlocking those hips, finding different pathways. From last week this time to today, life sure does change, right? So again, unexpected can become such a pleasant, interesting, wild, weird, I don't know, you pick the word. We're just experiencing this life, and whether we choose to follow or to become that observer is huge. Press yourself back into your child's pose. Drop head, neck, shoulders down. Give yourself 2 breaths right here, knowing you can pause here anytime you need to. This is also a test of us going for strength and then finding permission to soften. Inhale, we're gonna press ourselves up to our tabletop position. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths right here. So I'm also a runner. I love hating running. And when I know the path really well, it becomes the most kind of boring thing for me. But when that path is unexpected, oh boy, it's like what's gonna come around any corner. Get the feet together at the back of your mat. Inhale, sweep that right leg up to the sky. Now option, bend the knees, stack right hip on top of left. Doesn't have to be big. You can bend and straighten the right leg if that feels good for you. On your next inhale, neutralize the hips. On your exhale, step that right foot towards the front of your mat. Now we're gonna go for a ride. So take your blocks, or if you are graced with long arms, you don't need blocks. Shift forward towards that right foot. Start to lift that left leg up towards the sky, coming into a standing split. You can bend and straighten that right leg as much as it feels comfortable. Relax the neck, the head, the shoulders. Relax the right toes. Notice how they might clench onto the ground. Now, are you ready to fly with me? So, the block in the right hand is going to come into the highest position, about 6 to 12 inches in front. We're going to open into standing half moon. If you do not have a block, your leg is a block, and you can use that. If you need a wall, it's a beautiful place to come. Take a deep breath in and out. Now bend that right knee, gently plant left foot to the back of your mat. Warrior 2, did we end up there? However the journey goes, it's all good. Inhale, reach those arms up to the sky, and exhale, open it up. Inhale up, exhale through the nose, let it go. One more time. These are my little warrior 2 jumping jacks. Without jumping, just finding that full reach. Bring that right hand behind the back of your head. We're ready for our Instagram selfie. Exhale, lift it up towards the sky. So cute, right? We have to pat ourselves on the back. Words like kind words, I'll say. The stuff you would say to others, say it right back to yourself. We are, inside of us, such beautiful creatures. And we think because of this shell, something different, and it's not that. I am not this. Inside, I'm so different. Inhale, come on back to warrior 2. Right hand is gonna come down towards the thigh. We're gonna start to circle out the left arm. Maybe we're throwing leaves. Seems like they just keep piling up. We're just mulching them into the ground, like confetti. Circle it out. Now the next time you bend into that right knee, drop right hand inside, left arm up to the sky. Now, how is this different from on your knees? Did you lose the bend in that front knee? Probably. I do too. Habit says come up higher. Sometimes doing something that's hard work, we want to come out of it. And that's okay. It just becomes a choice rather than your only option. Now, draw those abs in, squeeze your glutes, inhale, torso comes up. Now, straighten that right leg and dial the toes towards the left side. Open up the arms, press that chest open. Exhale, hinge forward. Wide-legged forward fold. As you find this wide-legged forward fold, shift from toes to heels. Shake out the head yes and no. So often we're holding our head up. Let it go. The stress that you hold for many of us, more so I find for women than men, but I don't mean to stereotype. I find that personally, I hold on to stress where some other people might let it go. So all of the stress that you've accumulated, take it. Imagine like a big, heavy cloak. Put it next to you. You have permission to just be selfish about how you feel right here and right now. Shift the weight over towards that right foot, bend the right knee. And then inhale, come on up, shift the weight over to the left, bend that left knee. Come on up, bending that right knee. Come on up, and bend the left. Yeah, as much or as little as it feels good for you. Come back up to center. Shake out the head yes and no. Maybe toe heeling, feet together once or twice. And then we'll soften the body and roll up to standing. All toes are going to face towards the front. And here we get to be pretty fabulous. Reach up, be proud. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step right foot back to meet the left. Adjust yourself as much as you need to. We'll find our chaturanga flow if you do not want to. You do not have to. It's a choice. Deep breath in. Knees on earth or not. Exhale, high plank, low plank. Flip the feet. Inhale, up dog. Relax the neck, head, shoulders. Press that heart space forward. Exhale to your down dog. Take a deep breath in. And out. Now feet together at the back of your mat. Sweep left leg up to the sky. Now bend that left knee, stack the hip on top of right. Imagine there's a string lifting that left hip up a little bit higher. Bend and straighten that left leg if you choose to. Inhale, come back to center. And on your exhale, step that foot towards the front of your mat. Using blocks or not, shift that weight to the left leg. Right leg is gonna lift up like a flag. Yeah! Standing half split. Just because we can. Take a deep breath in and out. Now, if you have a block, you're going to bring it in front of the left toes, about 6 to 12 inches. We're going to come up into our standing half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So start to let that right hip lift. We should look like a weather vane. Right arm up in the sky, we're just blowing with the wind. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, slowly bend that left knee and plant right foot to the back of your mat. We did it. I know. Take a deep breath in. And out. 3 of those little jumping jacks. Inhale, arms up to the sky. And exhale, open it up. Inhale up. And exhale to open through the nose. Make sure the knee doesn't go beyond the toes. And open and pause. Now look to that left knee. Push it out towards that middle toe. If it doesn't go in that direction, dial the right toes in. Let the pose work for you rather than you trying to force yourself into this pose. Flip the left hand up to the sky. Inhale, come on up. Take a deep breath. Let it fill the whole left side of your body. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, left hand down to the knee. Circle out the right arm and shoulder. And you can go in either direction. And you can bend and straighten that left knee as many or as little time, few times as it feels comfortable. I personally like bending and straightening because it gives my joints time to go, okay, this is what stability feels like. So if I can focus on it and I can make that become habit when I'm not paying attention to it, hopefully that foundation is there for me. Not always, but it is. Next time you have that left knee bent, drop the left elbow down. Right arm can sweep up to the sky or bicep to ear. You choose. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale, torso comes up. Now straighten the front leg, dial left toes to the right side. Interlace hands behind the back, hug shoulder blades in towards each other. On your exhale, dramatically fall forward. You can hug those shoulder blades in towards each other. Let the shoulders dump down to the ears, or find that opposite position, trying to squeeze those shoulder blades away from the ears. And when you're ready, releasing hands down to the earth. Shake out the head, yes and no. So long, slow breaths help to slow our nervous system down. We have fight, we have flight, and then we have flow, which is just this present moment. That breath is an anchor to this moment. That breath is the anchor that brings us back to peace. So the next time you find yourself, if you use Facebook or something like that, or with someone who might have varying differences, notice how you respond. Do you respond with a short, quick breath? Or do you respond first and pause? Usually a quick, sharp breath is going to have a quick, sharp release. A long, slow breath is thoughtful, maybe. And if it's not, it just slows everything down for that 1 second. Give yourself a deep breath in and out. Now, bring your heels in, toes out, and then slide your hands to your thighs, coming up to a 45-degree angle with the torso. Hips can be back. Doesn't have to be a goddess pose. Take a deep breath in right here. Now, on your exhale, you're going to look over the right shoulder, twisting the torso to the right. Left hand is pressing into the left knee, thigh, as much as it feels comfortable for you. Inhale, come on back to center, and exhale, opposite direction. This gets a little bit more into that thoracic spine, mid-spine. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Now inhale, come back to center. Stand up nice and slowly, all toes to the front of your mat. Now look to that left toe. See, 1, 2, 15 steps. Can you bring that right foot to meet the left? Open up to a T. Exhale, bend the knees round the back. Inhale, open up to a T, relax those shoulders. And exhale to round. And one more time. Inhale, open, broaden the chest. Exhale to round. Now hands together. Stand up tall, arms sweep up to the sky. Now as you exhale, swing the hands behind the back of the head. If that feels aggressive, it could be fingertips. Bend the knees, tuck the pelvis, lean the head back. Can you breathe all the way up to the top of the heart space? It's hard. Give yourself one more breath. On your inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Hands come to our heart space. We're going to revisit Malasana. Remember from what feels like 15 years ago? Toes out, heels in. Start to sink those hips down. Now this is an opportunity. When you come back into a pose you've already done, how is it changed? How are you changed? Maybe we can take in a little bit more. Maybe it feels good to move. You can look at yourself in the side mirror, and wherever you are, whether hips up, hips down, what's happening with your back? We're a society where we round. Can you see if you can draw those shoulders down and back? Option to sit on a block is always there too, and it's a good one. I take this one a lot. Sometimes having support means we go farther into a pose, so why not take that opportunity? Take one more deep breath in, soften the face. Oh, I like that too, that little T. That's good. And then from here, we're gonna relax our hands down, remove the blocks if they're there. Walk those hands to the front, feet to the back. Down dog, get some blood flow back in those hips, wiggle them, shake them. So we're gonna come into pigeon next. If pigeon is not in your wheelhouse for today, you can always do this in a figure 4 like we did from the beginning on your back, or I'll give you options to make it a little bit softer on the body. Feet to the back of your mat, inhale, right leg reaches up, and on your exhale, you're gonna bring the right shin to the front of your mat. Now, pull the left foot back, tuck the toes, pull back. If this feels super aggressive, so bring the right foot over to me, to the left side of the mat a little bit more, just a little bit. So if this feels super aggressive, you can relax on that right hip and bend the left knee inside of the foot, can be planted down, it's okay. And then once it starts to feel like it opens up, then you can start to maybe extend that leg. Option to bring pillows, blocks, or anything underneath that right hip. What feels like 1.5 million years ago, I went to Coachella, and I felt like a different person. And they had this moving artwork that was a snail, and it was painted with gold and green. It looked super ornate and really quite a beautiful sculpture. And it said on the side of it, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, we go together. And that's what we do. We go far by finding our community. So often I think that we see support as a weakness, like we can't do this alone. But the fact is, we're not meant to do this alone. We're not meant to do any of this alone. And we don't have to. We can find support. We can trust in the community. Soften the jaw, soften the shoulders. Notice how tense it might feel and the conversation you're having with that tension. Do you run away from it, or do you find ways to make it feel a little better? Give yourself 3 more breaths. And 1 more breath. Now to come out of it, be super kind. Gently let that torso come upright. Stacking hands on the ground, tucking the left toes, and then lifting to come up. If you're on your back, you can just release the legs and find your way onto the opposite side, crossing left over right thigh. So we'll sweep that left leg up to the sky, and then just bring that shin towards the front of your mat. And you can pull that right leg back a bunch of times using blocks or support. The other thing about that sculpture was we used it as a meeting point for quite a bit, and it wasn't until the second day where I realized the sculpture moves. So that was fun. The unpredictability of life. Notice if you need support underneath that left hip, what's happening with your shoulders. Things don't necessarily get easier, it's just that we get stronger. We find ways to communicate with ourselves, to soften, to release. We just get stronger. What is there to learn when there's stillness and stretch? When most of us is just peeled away to the sensation. Sensation rises and falls. And we learn to start to care about what it is that we're doing, mindful of our bodies. Give yourself 2 more breaths. And to come out of it, slowly bringing hands underneath shoulders, and we'll slowly let that torso lift up. Tucking the right toes and coming into down dog, pedal through the feet. And then bending those knees, let them drop and press back into your child's pose, giving again that compression in a different way into those hip flexors. Forehead can rock from side to side. You might choose to extend those arms over to the right side of your mat, pressing that left hand firmly into the ground. To offer a twist here, right hand goes under the shoulder, palm down, and start to lift the right shoulder higher than the left. Yeah, just a little baby twist. That might feel good or it might feel aggressive. Go to the place that feels best for you. Take a deep breath in and out. Coming back to center. And then we'll go over towards the left side. Right hand is going to press down into the mat. You can situate yourself. If you like that twist, you might do it on this side. Left hand underneath the shoulder, palm down. Start to lift the left shoulder higher than the right. And then take all of your breath. Bring it right into that right shoulder blade, the right lat. Inhale slowly, coming back to center. Pressing yourself up, tabletop position, finding either cats and cows or circling out the hips, shaking the neck, the head, the shoulders. Maybe now it becomes a little bit more deliberate in how we move because we've opened up so much in the body. It's kind of those fringe edges that start to open up a little bit more. Give yourself just 2 more breaths. And we'll slowly let our body rise. We are going to come down onto our backs. The head will be facing towards the mirror. Extending your legs back and dropping down slowly onto your back. Or quickly, it's all good. You pick your pace. Crash down, it's all good. Letting the knees rock side to side. Even circling them out and around a bunch of times can feel quite nice. Different kind of pressure. You can even play around with bending and straightening the legs again. What is it like to come back into this place? It's like entering the same room at a different time in the day. You know and you're familiar with it, but somehow the sensation, the feeling of it is so different. Now from here, bring the soles of your feet down to your mat. We're going to come into some bridges. If you have a block, bring it right in between your inner thighs so you can squeeze into the block. If you don't have one, just squeeze those inner thighs together. It's all good. See if you can tuck that tailbone, lift the hips up to the sky at the top, squeeze the inner thighs in towards each other, and then slowly releasing it down. And lifting those hips up, pressing into those upper arms, and slowly releasing it down with control. Indulge in the choppiness of the body. The slower we go, lift those hips up, the more you're going to feel. So it's never surprising to me that some of us move at a hyper speed because it can feel uncomfortable to be in the choppiness of your body. And to me, that's where we can build a strong foundation. It's just signals. It's just your body saying something. And whether we choose to think it's good or bad, that's up to us. So just think of it as an experience. This is just what's happening. Lift the hips up one more time. Press into the heels. Now, see if you can keep those hips as even as possible. Keep squeezing those inner thighs together. Feet might have to come together just a little bit more. And I want you to extend that right leg forward, pressing into the left heel. Squeeze those inner thighs. And then bend the right knee, sole of the foot comes down. Keep those hips even. Can you do it on the left? Lift that left leg, squeeze those inner thighs, point or flex, I care not. And then bend into it, drop left foot down, squeeze those inner thighs, deep breath in. And exhale to release down. You can remove the block unless you want it for support. We're going to lift our hips an inch, drop over to the left side of the mat on the right glute. Knees into chest, drop knees over to the right. If that doesn't make sense, we're just coming into a twist with our knees on the right side. You can find any twist that feels right for you. Now you might notice that left shoulder is lifted up high. You can press into your elbows in the back of your head and wiggle the back into a little bit more of a comfortable position. Noticing where we meet resistance. Relax the jaw. Maybe the eyes close. You always have the option, if you want, to straighten out the left leg. That might feel quite nice, or it might feel like a sharp sensation. Is it what you need for today? The answer could be yes, or the answer just could be no, not today. But we become an active participant within our lives. Take one more deep breath in. Notice where you can soften more. Bending the left knee. Allow for the knees to lift up, either left and then right or both at the same time. Feet to the ground. Realign the spine. Lift hips up. Go over to the right side of the mat on that left butt cheek. Knees into chest, drop them over to the left. Again, right shoulder, if it's up high in the air, you can either bring the right arm closer to the right side of the body or wiggle those shoulders into just a little bit more comfort. Let the muscles in the face soften. The jaw softens, the tongue softens. Letting sensations roll through the body. Notice the bottoms of the feet. Are you holding on to tension there? You can choose to extend that right leg if that felt okay for you. Just an option. Give yourself just another breath or two to linger in this sensation. To linger in the feeling. If you have that right leg extended, I encourage you to rebend, lifting up the right knee and then the left. Hugging both knees into the chest. Give them a squeeze, maybe even a quick little happy baby. Might feel quite nice. Letting there be any movements that call to you right now. And then letting your body dissolve into your Shavasana. Your eyes can close. Just letting the body sink into the ground. Be the presence, noticing how the belly rises and falls, how the breath can integrate into the body. Maybe paying attention to the beating of your heart. Every breath is an opportunity to let go. It's an opportunity to surrender. Become aware if you're still holding your body up and just release into the earth. Om Loka Satana Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti. 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 Om. 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 And slowly take a deep breath in and let the breath go. Notice your body on the earth. Imagine yourself lying down on your mat. And maybe look down at yourself with kindness and with love, with mercy. Take a deep breath in. And let the breath go. Neither staying where you are, just letting the body just stay soft, or encouraging some gentle movements, wiggling fingers and toes. Indulging with what needs to be indulged in. You can rock the head from side to side. And even taking your time to reach the arms towards the back of your mat, legs forward, finding a long stretch of the body if you choose. And then rolling over onto one side or the other, cradling yourself. And then pressing yourself up to a seated position. Bringing hands right into the third eye. Practice kind thoughts for others, but most importantly for yourself. Bring your hands to your lips. Practice kind actions, practice kind words for others, but most importantly for yourself. And bring your hands to your heart space. Practice kind actions for others, but most importantly for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me here today, for showing up as you are and being who you are. All that I am bows deeply to all that is within you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for. So just so everyone knows, we are next, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, the Sunday before Thanksgiving, I'm doing a sound healing here, and so it's with crystal bowls and bells, and it's limited in because obviously we're in here, and if you want to, if it's something that you